Okay guys, so today I've started the boringest part of the job, the sanding back, the tedious hours of sanding, because you want to get it absolutely smooth, because airbrushing paint is so thin. There's a little scratch mark, you'll see it. So I've just done pretty much most of the sanding. So now I've got a wet cloth that I'm going to wipe back all the dust and then go over with my little finger and just test every little spot to make sure it's perfectly flat. Okay, so this is going to get rid of all the little sandpaper stuff, that's all the little pieces that have gotten into all the little grooves. I'm going to get rid of so I can feel it to make sure it is perfectly smooth, because I want it perfect. Move it all up here as well, just so it doesn't blow back in. This is a slight breeze. And do this one around the side as well. Now I'll just wait for it to dry, and then once it has, I'll make sure it's all perfectly smooth. Okay, so it's pretty well dried, and there's just a few little spots just here that are a little bit rough, so I'm going to sand that back. And just here, there's one little bubble. Tiny, bitty bubble. I don't know if the camera will focus on it. That I want to get rid of because I don't want that in there. And this side here is just a little bit rough just here still. So I'm going to sand that back and make it perfectly smooth. Now that I've sanded it back and got it perfectly smooth, I'm going to now mask it all up and cover the motor and everything. This is something you definitely want to take your time in doing. You don't want to miss a spot and then you get paint there and then it's really hard to get off. You've got to sand it back and repaint it and do the whole thing, and it's just too much of an effort. So you definitely want to make sure you get it perfectly masked up, exactly in all the areas you do not want to get paint. Okay, so now that I got it all taped up and sealed, I'm going to use primer on all the bog spots because the paint won't stick to it unless you've got primer on it. And I went and bought the expensive car primer. You want to use the good stuff so it lasts long. If you use the shit stuff in a few years, it will just peel off and bubble up, so it'll wreck your paint. So you want to use the expensive good stuff to make it last longer. Okay, so when using this paint, you want to mix it up really good for about 5 minutes so it's all completely mixed up. And as you can hear, it's not your regular can where you can hear a ball moving around until now. See? So that's when you know you've mixed it up right, is when you shake it up and you can start hearing the ball move around. Then you want to even go another minute after you start hearing the ball move. Okay, so when using any spray, you want to always be moving. If you hold still, you'll end up with a big blob and it'll wreck it. So you just want light spray. So nice, soft, quick little squirts so you don't get it all bubbled up, okay? Okay, so that's my first coat, and I just went ahead and masked up around the next bit and that little hole and this one here, because I don't really need to spray that much all over my car. I just really need to do the bogged areas. So yeah, this is my first layer. Reaching out, I call your name, but
but you're not around. I say your name, but you're not around. I need you, I need you, I need you right now. I need you right now.
Brick wall right there, so gotta get it nice and tight.
Don't let me down. Think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head. Darling, I hope you will be here.
Okay, so I've finished doing all the primer layer all the way across, and as you saw I did also the side one, and so now it's the final part, the airbrushing. So there's all my paints, a little compressor, and in this one I have my guns. So there you go. Okay, so now I'm peeling back the masking tape here because I want there to be a bit of green between here and there so I can feather it out and blend it, the green that I'm going to spray on, into the green of the car. So you won't see any lines. So I'm going to take all the masking tape off around it, but still leave the plastic and stuff so I don't get green paint on my motor or anything. Okay, so I've taken all the tape back, so now I can airbrush and blend it smoothly, but before I do that, I want to grab a cloth with some soapy water to get rid of any of the stickiness from the tape that may be left here. You want a really clean surface when airbrushing. You don't want any oil, any grease, any dust, nothing. Okay, so now I'm going to go over it and clean it all again, and then I'll start airbrushing.